We are going to be working on Google Sheets number 1, Apple Store product sale. Once you open it up, you need to open, and the first thing you need to do is create a document. So you go to create. Do not use docs, do not use slides, use the sheets. Once you've done that, you now have a document. It should say Google Sheets number 1 Apple Store product sales in your name. Mine says Tim Mackey because this is my student account. Now I want you to open up the lesson. That's the first one. It says Google Sheets lesson 1. You're an Apple Store product sales. You're going to use spreadsheets to calculate data. I'm going to show you how to do data and how to calculate it. The overview is, as an intern at the Apple Store, the manager has asked you to keep track of weekly sales. You decided the best way to present this information is to prepare a spreadsheet which will calculate the sales and tax total he is looking for. So your new skills will be format as a currency, use formulas, view formulas, preview a spreadsheet. You may not use that print preview as much, but it'll still be there. I mean, it'll still be, it's something that you're going to need to learn. It's not a must today because you can't print on your Chromebooks. The only thing you do is send them to the teacher and then they can print them. So number 1 says if you have not created a Google Sheets document in your Google Classroom, you need to. You're going to enter the data as shown. The data is located on the Google Classroom assignment Google Sheets number 1. So if I go back to here, here is my data. Now the data is view only, so that means you're going to have to type it. So what I'm going to have you do is you're going to have to split it up if you think it's easier to do that way. You cannot do copy and paste. All right. So what I want you to do is you're going to split this and put this on one side with your data on it. And then over here, you'll open this document, and this is where your data is going to go. So now you have your data, and you copy it. You put Apple Store in A1. A1 is a cell. These are cells. These are columns for our, and I'm going to make this bigger just so that you can see it. All right? These are columns. These are columns and these are rows. A1 meets where it's called a cell. A and 1 come together. So you'll write Apple Store in there. I'm going to go ahead and put that data in. So I have all my data already in. This is what you needed to type in. So it's Apple Store, Urbana, Ohio, 200 South Main Street, Urbana, Ohio, 43078. Your Apple products, and then week of October 17, 21. Then you're going to write products, sales, tax, and total. Then you'll put all your numbers in, and you'll do all of these items. And then down below on A29, you have totals for the week, and 30, you have average daily sales. Okay? So the first thing that our Google Sheets tells us to do is we're going to format as a currency. You have a currency right here. If you look, you have this little symbol. It says currency. I want B to be current. I want it to be a currency. I want it to be a dollar sign on it. So if I click on the B on this row, I get the whole column. And then I hit the dollar sign. You notice what happened? They all turned into dollar signs. I'll do that one more time. They all turn into dollar signs. Okay, so I have all of them now as dollar signs. The next thing I'm going to do is I have to do taxes. Because we live in Ohio, it is 7% tax on something you cannot eat. So if you buy a car, in this case a computer, you have to pay 7% to the state and the local. So you're going to go over here and we're going to figure out what the tax is. So I'm going to put an equal sign in. An equal sign tells Google Sheets that I am going to make a formula. A formula is an equation. I'm going to say I want this cell to be multiplied by this cell. So, or multiplied by a certain number in this case. So I'm going to say equals, and then I'm going to click on the cell I want it to use. Okay? So I'm then going to put a multiplication sign. Now you look at that and go, well, that's not a multiplication sign, that's an asterisk. Computers do not read an X as a multiplication sign. It reads it as a letter X. So you write an asterisk. In this case, I want to multiply my sales of $1,392.89 times 7%. So I'm going to do 7 and percent. That gives me $97.50. So say that my AirBook or my MacBook goes up in price, and it goes to $1,650. Look what happened to my tax. It automatically goes up. All right, I'm just going to put that back there. Now I need a total for my MacBook. So my MacBook total I'm going to do on D11. So I'm going to hit the total. And the way I do total is I'm going to hit equal sign. I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to hit the plus sign, and then I'm going to click that, because those are the two I need to add, and that gives me a total. And again, if I change this to see what happens to my total, it ends up going up again because I changed it. All right, so I'm going to do that for every single one of these. So I'm going to make this a little bit faster so you can see my information really quick. And those of you who may be watching may know what the shortcut is. All right, so I have all my numbers now in. Once I got all that in, you notice my taxes are in, my total is in. Now I need to have the totals for the week. I want to first click on D29, and this time now I'm going to go up and hit More, and I'm going to go to what's called the function key. I'm going to hit the function key, and I have a series of things I can pick. Sum, average, count, max, min. So I want the sum of my totals of my line. So I'm going to hit sum, and then I'm going to highlight all of these by just holding down my mouse key and dragging it all the way up to that's D11. And you notice D11 has colons in there to D27. I hit enter. So my total for the week right now is $23,620.14. I want to do an average for the daily sales. So to do an average, I'm now going to go to D30. And you notice this says D30. I'm going to go up to More again and hit the function key. This time I'm going to pick average and do the same thing that I did to sum. Same exact thing, and hit enter. The average sales that I did was $1,389.42. Now, you will notice that that's what all these directions are here that I've put on there. Once you are finished, you're then going to do bold cells A10 so you need to read these. Center line text A1, A4. So I'm going to come back to here, and A1 to A4, I'm going to center it. And to do that, I click here and hit center line. All right? But there's a problem. They don't fit in there right. So what do I have to do? I'm going to have to set it. I left the line, but I'm going to have to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to set that so that I can get everything in there. So now it's centered, and it looks really good there. Then it says I need to bold cells A10 to D10. So now I go from A10 all the way to D10. So I highlight that, and I'm going to bold that. It also tells me to right align cells A10 to D10. So I'm going to right align them by hitting right. Okay. Then it says I'm going to right align B10 to D10. And then so B10 to D10 is the same thing. I don't know why that was put in there. It shouldn't be in there. All right. Then it says proofread your spreadsheet for accuracy and format. So if it looks like this, you're finished. All right. The only thing is when I go to grade, I'm going to be looking for formulas here. I will double click it and open it up. That means there's a formula, not a number. You do not put the numbers in, you put a formula in. And that is that level.